Sephiroth is the main antagonist of Final Fantasy VII. Once revered as the greatest super soldier in history, Sephiroth went insane after learning he was created through genetic experiments fusing human DNA with Genova, an ancient alien parasite. Believing himself to be a divine heir destined to rule, he cast off his humanity to become the one-winged angel, seeking to wound the planet and merge with its life force to become a literal god. His iconic design, flowing silver hair, a single massive black angel wing sprouting from his back, and a literal Latin church choir singing his name during battle, he looks like a holy messiah, making his cold, sociopathic nature hit 10 times harder.
What makes him truly terrifying isn't just his power, but his horrifying cruelty under all that beauty. When he first discovered his origins, he burned his hometown of Nibelheim to the ground, butchering innocent civilians while walking through the flames like a dark god. And even after his death, he was still a threat. He corrupted the planet's spiritual energy to unleash a painful, agonizing disease called geostigma, infecting millions of survivors just to force humanity into endless suffering. His name, Sephiroth, comes from the Sephiroth in Jewish mysticism, a collection of 10 divine attributes of creation. It directly reflects his twisted delusion of being a divine manifestation meant to judge humanity. In artistic and religious mythology, angels are typically depicted with 2 white wings representing balance and purity, but Sephiroth has one single transcendent black wing. Sephiroth's single black wing signifies a fallen, incomplete god who lost his harmony with nature and functions as a biological parasite on the world.
Ryo Asuka. Ryo Asuka is the central antagonist of Go Nagai's Devilman series and its modern adaptation Devilman Crybaby. Now, you might be thinking, how the heck is this guy the bad guy? Well, initially, he was the best friend of our protagonist, Akira Fudo. However, Ryo is eventually revealed to be the true identity of Satan, the 12-winged fallen archangel cast down from heaven who orchestrates the extinction of humanity. Yes, this guy is literally Satan, which really shouldn't be, because in his true divine state, he is stunningly beautiful. He has flawless, pristine white skin, radiant blonde hair, and 12 majestic, blindingly white wings. His aesthetic screams absolute holy purity, making it deeply unsettling that behind this angelic facade lies a cold, apocalyptic nihilist who views the human race as inferior insects fit only for extermination. His cruelty is defined by how easily he broke humanity's soul. Instead of just using brute force, he broadcasted live TV feeds proving demons lived among humans, intentionally triggering worldwide paranoia that caused society to massacre itself by itself. He also wanted so badly to strip Akira of his remaining humanity, Ryo exposed Akira and his family to a murderous, paranoid mob, leading directly to the horrific murder of Akira's loved ones in ways that I can't even talk about. And what churns my stomach the most is that after all that, after destroying every single human on Earth and killing Akira in battle, after actually winning, Ryo sat beside his friend's body only to realize, in total silence, that he actually loved Akira, discovering human emotion only after he had reduced the entire world to ash.
Adam and Lute. Adam and Lute are the main antagonists of the first season of Hazbin Hotel. Adam is the first man, the first human soul to enter heaven, and the founder and commander of the Exorcists, an elite all-female army of angels, which includes Lute, his fanatical second-in-command. Under the guise of maintaining heaven's security, Adam and Lute spearhead the annual extermination, a sanctioned year-long ritual of genocide designed to purge the demon population of hell to prevent an uprising. Adam and Lute are holy fighters. They look the part of divine justice, clad in brilliant gold and white armor, flexing giant white wings, and carry weapons that shine with holy energy. But beneath the halo, they use their heavenly origin as a moral shield, arguing that because they are from the holy side, any act of torture or genocide they commit is automatically righteous, allowing them to treat other sentient beings like disposable trash.
What makes them so repulsive isn't just the killing, it's the joy they take in it. They treat the slaughter of millions not as a tragedy, but as a fun, competitive sport. They sadistically mock Charlie's dream of redemptive hope, deriving pleasure from crushing her spirit rather than helping her save souls. And when demons finally strike back, Lute demonstrates zero self-awareness, reacting with a hypocritical fake righteous anger, as if they are the victims, completely ignoring the fact that they are the genocidal invaders who enjoy mass murder and initiated the massacre in the first place.
Johan Liebert. Johan Liebert is the titular central antagonist of Naoki Urasawa's psychological thriller Monster. Saved as a child by the brilliant brain surgeon Dr. Kenzo Tenma, Johan grew up to become a charismatic, quiet, and seemingly divine young man. Beneath his pristine and gentle exterior lies an absolute nihilist, a soft-spoken mastermind who operates without a traditional criminal empire, using pure psychological manipulation to push human beings into self-destruction. Johan is the most grounded, chilling version of angelic evil in narrative history. He doesn't have literal wings or divine magic. Instead, he has striking blonde hair, fair skin, uncanny blue eyes, and an unnerving, peaceful composure. He looks like a pure, harmless saint. He weaponizes this wholly innocent appearance to instantly gain trust, making his complete lack of human empathy hit like a physical shock when people realize he is the incarnation of absolute emptiness.
What makes Johan so terrifying is that he rarely pulls a trigger himself. He gets humanity to destroy itself for him. As a child in the secret orphanage Kindergarten 511, he simply spoke to everyone there, playing on their hidden insecurities until 50 people slaughtered each other in a mass frenzy while he sat back and watched. He engineered a systematic plan to erase every trace of his own existence from history, erasing memories, burning records, and killing everyone who had ever met or known his name, aiming to leave Earth as if he had never been born at all. Johan Liebert isn't even his real name. It's an identity he stole from one of his orphanage pals who is no more. His true birth name is never revealed in the entire story, reinforcing his belief that he is an empty, nameless void. His entire character mirrors the fictional dark storybook in the show about a monster who traveled the world taking everyone's name so he could have one, only to realize that once he ate everyone, there was no one left alive to even use the names.
Gabriel. Gabriel is the apostate of hate from the retro FPS Ultrakill. Gabriel is an archangel tasked by the Holy Council with enforcing God's divine order. When God mysteriously disappears from creation, Gabriel becomes the desperate, iron-fisted enforcer of heaven, attempting to hold a crumbling cosmos together through sheer violence and absolute dogma. Gabriel is a terrifying look at what happens when angelic divine right turns into unhinged zealotry. Draped in golden armor with blazing light wings and holy broadswords, he looks like the ultimate warrior of righteous salvation. But beneath that glowing helm lies a lunatic fanatic who believes that any act of horrific violence is completely justified as long as it's done for heaven in the name of a vanished god. His sins stem from his total rejection of mercy. When King Minos created a peaceful, flourishing society in the lust layer of hell, Gabriel personally executed him and let his body rot into a hollow, mindless monster, purely to crush humanity's chance at peace and free will. After suffering a humiliating defeat to a machine named V1, heaven stripped Gabriel of his holy divine light as punishment to a point where his angelic halo physically fractures. His response? He went bat-screet crazy. He walked into heaven's council chamber and butchered every single angelic elder in a gruesome massacre. And with only hours left to live, he chose not to fix his mistakes, but to spend his dying breaths sparking an apocalyptic war of pure hatred just to satisfy his own shattered ego.
Griffith. Griffith is the central antagonist of Kentaro Miura's dark fantasy masterpiece, Berserk. Griffith was worshipped as a savior by his men and the common people. Obsessed with reaching his ultimate dream of obtaining his own kingdom, his eventual physical downfall led him to sacrifice his loyal comrades during the horrific event known as the Eclipse to transcend humanity and become Femto, the fifth member of the demonic god hand. Known as the Falcon of Light, Griffith has an ethereal, otherworldly, breathtaking beauty, flowing silver-white hair, soft porcelain features, and pristine silver armor that makes him look like a holy messiah sent from the heavens.
His sins are defined by absolute sociopathic selfishness. During the nightmare event known as the Eclipse, Griffith willingly offered his loyal soldiers, the men and women who bled for him and rescued him, as live food for demons, branding them to be butchered just so he could gain godhood. Reborn as the Demon King Femto, he tormented Guts by brutally assaulting Casca right in front of him just to shatter his friend's soul. And to build his dream kingdom of Falconia, he unleashed apocalyptic monsters across the rest of the planet, forcing humanity into a gilded trap where they must worship their oppressor just to survive. Berserk completely flips traditional visual tropes on their head. The hero, Guts, wears pitch black armor, carries a jagged slab of iron, and looks like a terrifying demon, while Griffith wears blinding white, wields a delicate rapier, and looks like a saint. It's a masterclass in proving that the worst monsters sometimes wear the brightest light.
The Redeemer.
The Redeemer is heaven's answer to Hell's Hellspawn in Todd McFarlane's Spawn universe. Created by the Starseed, a holy cosmic entity, the Redeemer is a living suit of elemental fire and divine light given to a chosen mortal. Designed to act as heaven's ultimate warrior, the Redeemer is stripped of free will to become an unstoppable holy executioner sent to purge Hell's agents on Earth. Draped in glowing, pristine white and gold armor with massive angelic light wings and wielding a broadsword forged from celestial fire, he looks like a literal archangel sent to save humanity. However, he is a dark inversion of salvation. Heaven doesn't send the Redeemer to protect the innocent, but to blindly hunt, slaughter, and wage an apocalyptic war against Hell, matching Hell's brutality stride for stride while claiming total moral superiority. What makes the Redeemer so disturbing is how Heaven creates and uses him. Heaven deliberately kidnapped an innocent man, torturing him with holy fire until his memories, personality, and human empathy were completely burned away. As a mind-wiped zealot, he unleashes horrific collateral damage on Earth, happily incinerating innocent human bystanders and leveling cities just to strike at his targets, viewing human lives as disposable trash in Heaven's holy war. And because his brain is warped by holy dogma, he is incapable of mercy, refusing to stop his rampages even when confronted with Heaven's hypocritical lies. And if a Redeemer dies, Heaven doesn't mourn. They just kidnap another mortal and start the process all over again.
The Radiance. The Radiance is the ultimate ancient antagonist and secret final boss of the Hollow Knight franchise. A primordial higher being of light who once created and ruled the Moth Tribe, the Radiance was forgotten when the Pale King arrived and granted intellect to the bugs of Hollownest. Refusing to let her memory fade into the dark, she manifested as a mind-shattering, dream-dwelling entity, spreading a glowing orange plague known as the Infection to reclaim her kingdom by force.
She appears as a breathtaking, moth-like deity of pure blinding light, radiating ethereal feathers and divine halos of swords and beams. Unlike traditional dark or shadowy monsters, her horror comes directly from too much light. Her evil is fueled by pure narcissistic spite. Refusing to be forgotten, she unleashed the Infection, a dream plague that boils bugs' bodies with glowing orange light, wiping out their free will and reducing a prosperous kingdom to a graveyard of twitching, mindless husks.
When the Pale King created the Hollow Knight to seal her away, she spent years mentally torturing the hero from the inside out, turning the kingdom's ultimate savior into a broken, harming puppet. She has even gone as far as choosing to destroy an entire civilization rather than let them live without worshipping her. Hollow Knight completely flips traditional light and dark morality on its head. Light is the oppressive, mind-controlling villain that destroys individuality, while the pitch-black void is the quiet, freeing force that humanity uses to finally drag the arrogant deity down.